Track and field chair. I gave it to the older coaches who I admired. Now I got coaches younger than me. I'm getting really nervous. All right, my first coach, Charles Gilreath. Come on up here. I met Charles when I was a younger official, first getting back into the sport, and he was coaching at Roosevelt, and he had a girl named Tiffany Poole, correct? Went on to run great things at Manhattan College. But that tiny Roosevelt team, you saw these kids, they loved this young coach. Then he moved on to Freeport, and I was lucky enough as a college coach, and Marie as a teammate, two of his athletes were gun-slinging racers for us. They never backed down, they never questioned anything. They just wanted to win. And that comes from a coach who instilled that in them. For Junaid and Andrew Hughes, I thank you. Junaid went to the NCAA for 3 different events. So thank you for that. All of his teams have class, they compete hard, he never backs down from a challenge, and he does his athletes, but more importantly, what Charles has done for the people of Freeport and Roosevelt, wherever he's touched, is he made them great people. People who've gone on to pass their gifts forward, and I can say that for every coach I'm going to bring up here, but Charles's kids are fabulous. He's never forgot a favor. Years and years ago, I'll be filming Charles talk in a second. One of my good half-milers slowed down and let one of his kids make the stand. Turned around and said, come on, I got the stand. Kid goes up. 3 years later, the younger brother of that boy gets edged out, runs 153, doesn't make the state meet. His guy's in front of him, maybe the 800 and the 400, and he comes up with Charles in tow and says, Coach Danny, we owe you a favor. I'm going to scratch out of the 8, you go to state. Thank you. So I look at Charles, are you sure? Dave DeLuna that day at state finished second. Runs a PR, he's number 2 in the history of our school, which is the number 1 record is the state record, so it's tough to break. But anyway, Charles, on behalf of all the athletes who you look out for, on your team and ours, I thank you as a coach and recognition.
Good afternoon, thank you. And I'd like to thank the USA Track and Field Long Island. Started this journey, I guess I was about 23 when I started this journey. So it's been 34 years of coaching 3 seasons. I'm in my 6th season with a youth club, Long Island Elite, with Michael Higgins back there. And through it all, I try to inspire athletes from all over, because this is a sport where you can root for the other team. You don't have to have any animosity toward any other athlete. But through this whole journey, to be able to coach 3 seasons for 34 years, I can't do that by myself. So my wife, my better half, track is emotional to me because it's a passion. Because what we put into it, we can't get monetarily out of it. To have her by my side when I'm out, like Van says, forever, you know, you'll go to the armory at 6 o'clock in the morning and you come back when I'm doing boys and girls at 11 o'clock at night. Who does that besides a track junkie? And that's what I am. And I try to encourage athletes from all over because track and field is the best sport in the world. So I'd like to thank USA Track and Field, all my fellow coaches and officials that we've had experiences through the years. We continue to move forward and grow this sport of track and field. Thank you.
Okay, 1 down, 2 to go. Next one. All right. A long time ago in a body far, far away, I was good, and I'm in a meet at St. John the Baptist under the lights. The best half-milers in the state are at this meet, and this young kid from Amityville comes walking up. My friend Norm Ogilvy is the Duke coach, goes, hey, Tex, I want you to meet this kid. He's really good. I go, yeah, all right. I'm graduating, I'm cool, going off to Nebraska. He introduced me, Reynolds, Hawkins, come up. Then we watched him run 4:22 in a mile. We go, oh my, glad we graduated. These kids are too good. I am worked with Reynolds on committees. I have coached at the same high school at Reynolds. I have also benefited from coaching as athletes on my college team. Reynolds Hawkins has always given to this sport more than the sport gave to him. And it's like most of us, we give back to pay back the gifts that everyone gave us. Reynolds, I can't thank you enough. You live on the border of the town I coach in, and I know my flank is always covered because it's it. I only wish, now I've said this many times, if we could only make trades in high school. I would give Reynolds an entire cross-country team. I just need 3 guys for this. I need a jumper, a hurdler, and a player of the game later. Anyway, you did live in Massapequa, right? Yeah. Anyway, Reynolds Hawkins is my next coaching recognition.
No, I don't have a long speech. No, I just like playing like that. First of all, I'd like to give thanks to the USAA Track and Field Long Island. You know, this has been an honor. This is an honor just to be in this company and to receive something like this. I was totally shocked. I had no idea of this. So this is all something fabulous and new to me. You know, we do things in life and we don't know why we do things in life. It's just a passion and we just get caught up into it. So everybody that's in here has had passions in their lives and we've done things and people always come up to you and say, why do you do that, or how well do you do that, and all that stuff. And you really can't put an answer to it because it's just something that comes really easy and simple to you. You know, so I'm not gonna say running track was easy, I'm not gonna say coaching track is easy, but it's easier when you enjoy it and you enjoy what you're doing. So that's what makes things so much easier. There's something I want to read to you, and it's very short. When we journey through life and do God's will, we don't know who and how far people are noticing. When we accomplish our missions that was placed before us, we sometimes don't know we accomplished them. Then our value of life becomes acknowledged. This is something that I wrote about 5-6 years ago. My mother was the first black to graduate from Central Islip schools. And this is a plaque that I have installed at Central Islip High School going into the auditorium, acknowledging her as being the first African American to graduate. Matter of fact, June 25th, 1951. So I'm saying this because, you know, we do things in life and we don't look for the accolades, and we're not looking for people to say you did a good job or well done or anything like that. We just do things, you know. But then for other people to come back and say, job well done, means a lot, especially when it comes from your peers. So thank you very much.
All right, before I continue on, where's Dwayne Johnson? Dwayne, you working back there? Yeah. Come on. Dwayne has been my vice chair since we started together back in 2007. He was an assistant coach of mine at CW Post. He's a great assistant. He's done great jobs for us. He's coached athletes, been a resource all the time. So please, round of applause for Dwayne Johnson. He also coached the girl who won 2 Olympic gold medals, but that's a whole other story. All right, my last coach recognition goes to Bob Szymanski. Come up here, Bob. I met Bob when I was a young coach coaching at Bayshore. He started talking to me about Bobby Darin, Mac the Knife. At least I knew those songs were in my jukebox. But Bob has coached out in Shoreham as long as I've known. I know he coached other places before. But on Thursday nights, him and Paul Koretsky have been running track meets. Never coming to us for help, never coming to us for anything but letting us know, there's a track meet out here, come on out and run. So that's something that's really cool. He coaches at Shoreham-Wading River. It's a small school. He's won multiple state championships, multiple state champions. But he's also had teams that competed with the big guys. It's not because he's small. He never backed down from a challenge. You ran in Kansas. You went to Emporia State Teachers College. If any of you guys, older guys in track and field, know anything about Emporia State, it was one of the places Long Island kids went to hide out in the 60s. There was a coach named Fraley from Szymanski who kept on sending kids out there. I'm at the NCAA meet for cross country, and I'm stranded because I didn't rent a car. I just took a cab out to Pensacola where the course was. And I had this young runner from Deer Park named Joe Parks. And now we don't have a car to get home. This is before Uber. I barely had a cell phone. But there's this guy from Kansas, Emporia State. I said, listen, do you stay at the Meat Hotel? He goes, yeah. He goes, are you a Long Island guy with that accent? I go, oh yeah, I pronounce my G's pretty hard. He goes, do you know Mr. Fraley? I go, actually, I do know Mr. Fraley. He goes, well, you're with me because I never met him. You can tell me stories. I go, oh man, I don't know what stories I'm going to tell about Fraley. He made his team run home from Oceanside once for losing. Anyway, enough of my stories. Bob Szymanski, where are you? He's run against some of the greatest guys I've ever known. Thank you for everything you've done for the sport. You got 4 minutes.
The lady in the back sitting at my table said, she looked at some of my photos. I got Jim Ryan's autograph. I ran against Billy Mills. First college race was Jim Ryan. I just got inducted in the Hall of Fame out there at the University of now Emporia State University. I was the team captain. We finished second in the nation. I ran on a relay team. We were the last team and to beat Arkansas University in the 4-mile relay. My coach ran a 4-minute mile, should have been the first one to break 4 minutes indoors back in 1960. He ran a 4:10 in the Golden Gate West meet, John Camion. But the funny thing was, I stayed out there 4 years. How I got out there, I'll never know. But I flew out to Kansas, took the train from Kansas City, big trunk, and the team AD football players picked me up in a horse and buggy, leading Wheat State. So I ride like 10 miles on a horse and buggy. They call out all these athletes and they looked at me and the guy said, Szymanski's got to be a football player. Then they saw me get off the horse and buggy and they go, no, that guy's a cheerleader. I was 5'10", 132 pounds. Fraley sent me out there, and excuse the expression, because we have another Polish referee of mine, my friend here. Fraley took one look at me and he said, you're the skinniest Polak I've ever met. And, you know, I don't drink, I don't smoke, but the truth of the matter was, his son was my roommate. He ran a 46.9 quarter for us. His top runner was John Camion, who ran a 4-minute mile. He was my coach. He sent out Al Order to Kansas from Szymanski High School and won 4 gold medals in a row in the discus. And then all I know was I got to run a 4:10. Should have broke 4:10. I broke my cartilage, so they were going to redshirt me, but they gave me a career internship there for a year. I became the assistant coach. I just handled distance runners. And my first guy I had to work with, just to watch him lift weights, was the #1 shot putter in America at the time, Al Feuerbach. He threw over 70 feet indoors, first American to do this. And my coach says, well, you're going to go to weight room with him. And I said, I can't lift 475 pounds, you know, Phil. So I had to get 3 of the biggest weight guys on the team to go with me. And that was part of my job as a career internship. But as I said, I've been very lucky. I had the first 2 state champions in Shoreham-Wading River, 1 in cross country, 1 in winter track. Then I had 5 more along the way. 1 guy won a mile, a 2-mile in Cornell, back to back and within 40 minutes. I've had a high jumper do 6'11" twice, get second in state. I've had so many lucky breaks. I can tell you, for people out there, I've been so lucky, not only running against Billy Mills and Jim Ryan, I met Bill Russell. He came out to Kansas. He was going to speak about racism then, when we had the protests in the Olympics. I sat at the table with him for half an hour. I was our team captain. We had 8 captains of sports there. Russell talked to me, great man. I ran into Jackie Robinson when he owned a minor league football team. And I said, Jackie, I said, you were out at home according to Yogi Berra. Tell me, were you safe at home back in 55 World Series? And he says, well, what do you think? And I said, well, Jackie, Yogi said you were out. So he winked at me and he says, I was, but they call me safe. So I got a chance to, when I'm finishing up here, because I could go on for an hour, but I went to Miami with our athletes one time, and I went to nightclub with our coach, minding my own business. I took 2 years of tap dance in Brooklyn. And then Little Richard was there performing. I wanted to see him. He called me on stage to dance. I was dancing with 2 of his go-go dancers for 5 minutes. Then I meet Richie up in, Richie, where would that be? That would be Whiteley, the running school. And the only guy I identified with at the end is a guy I saw perform 6 times at the Copacabana, was Bobby Darin. I got to meet him in the Concord up there. He signed an autograph. My wife gives me a book she bought for my birthday, the 37 years of Bobby Darin. They made a movie of him later on. I get a call from a high school from California because I wrote a story on him. Bobby Darin's sister lived in Calicut, New York, by our camp. I took her out to lunch every year I was up there, sent her flowers. She said, if you want to know a Bobby Darin story, and call up this guy, Bob Szymanski, gave my address. I get a call from the loudspeaker. Hollywood, California wants Bob Szymanski and Shoreham-Wading River for what I don't know. And they say, you got autographs, photos of him? I got a program I gave him to do a biography on him. They made a movie out of him. I have 6 programs from the Copa. Love the guy, and I'm getting off right now. Thank you.
For you young athletes, remember the past that gives honor, and you too might be a source for a famous story. Thank you very much, everybody.